Hey gang, welcome to Mauricio's Crib. This is a different segment than what I normally post. I'm calling this one Honorable Mentions, and what I'll be doing in these segments is quickly looking at movies that weren't successful when they were released in the 80s, but somehow throughout the years developed a cult following. Want to know which movie I'll be talking about today? Stick around. Thanks again for dropping by Mauricio's Crib. If this is your first time, please subscribe. Also, follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. The movie that I'll be discussing in this episode was a sequel that we didn't really lead, let alone ask for, and that sequel is Grease 2. This time round, it's not with the cars, it's with the motorcycles, and notably absent John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, basically the whole cast from the original Grease. This time round, the lead is Maxwell Caulfield, who plays Michael Carrington, a student who moves from the UK into America, straight into Rydell High, where he meets and falls in love with the beautiful Stephanie Nazivaya, who is played by Michelle Pfeiffer in a second feature film, just before she hits the big time the following year with Scarface. The T-Birds is led by Johnny Nogarelli, played by Adrian Smith, who was in TJ Hooker and Bachelor Party, and interestingly enough, he played Danny Zuko in the Broadway play. His sidekick is Goose, who is played by, nowadays, we know him as Shooter McGavin from the film Happy Gilmore, Christopher McDonald. Patricia Birch, who did the choreography in the original Grease and the Broadway play, took on the directing duties. She was reluctant to do it because no one from the first film was involved, but she was convinced to do it by the studio. Originally, Grease 2 was going to be followed up by a Grease 3 and a Grease 4 and also a television series, but considering that the film didn't do well at the box office, those plans were scrapped. You want a bit of trivia? Guess who originally auditioned for the role of Johnny Nogarelli? Anyone? You? How about you? What about you? Up there? What about in there? You? Anyone? Okay. It's actually Tom Cruise. But they were looking for someone a bit taller and more masculine. Try telling him that now. The storyline goes something like this. So obviously Michael falls in love with Stephanie, but she's not interested in him because he is a straight A student and she wants what is called a cool rider, someone with a motorbike and a leather jacket. So what does he do? He goes out and invests in a motorcycle, tries to learn it and new tricks, and he appears on the scene disguised with see-through goggles and a helmet. He eventually ends up with the girl and she falls in love with him, and no disrespect to her, but honestly, she must be the dumbest person on earth if she can't tell that behind those goggles and that helmet is Michael Carrington. Not only that, he didn't do anything to hide his Pommy accent. Some of the musical segments aren't too bad. The one in the bowling alley where they all get together and they sing, that wasn't a bad scene. And also the T-Birds, they get their own screen time with a song that's probably the brother to Grease Lightning called Prowling. Grease 2 was released in the summer of 1982 and it was made on a $13 million budget and finished off with $15 million of box office taking. Even though it made some money, it was still considered a box office bomb. The film has developed a cult following over the years. Notably early this year, TCM website held an online screening of the film, and there's been talks that a prequel to Grease is in the process of being made. This news is of current of 2019, with a script currently being written, but who knows? If you haven't seen the film, maybe check it out when you feel like a cheesy Sunday afternoon. Hey gang, thanks again for dropping by Mauricio's Crib on this segment, which I call Honorable Mentions. Look out for the next video. But up until then, you be you, keep on living and keep safe.